If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
So let's get started with the actual Workday fundamentals. This will be our first PPT which we are going through in this course. So yes, so this is the agenda for today. We are just going to talk only about the home page of Workday, what we can do on the home page, what we can see on the home page, what kind of accessibilities we will have on the home page when you open the Workday tenant. So yeah, so let me start like this. So right now, Alok, I need tenant. Okay. Okay. So like him on the homepage, we can actually try to search or get started with some task. Okay, what is task? There will be if this is a, assume this is a home page, on the right side you will have a search bar where you can go have an access to any kind of task or any kind of reports or anything which you wanted to search in Workday tenant. Okay, so now in Workday we use most of the time we use a name called task. What is task? For example, if you want to create a report, you give create custom report as a as a instruction to the Workday. That instruction is called as task. If you want to view custom report, then you're going to give if you want to see the custom reports which are there in the tenant, then you give view custom report. That is called task. You want to hire somebody, then you just give hire out there. That is called task. So whatever you wanted to do on Workday tenant, so that particular process or that particular instruction which you give to the tenant is called as task. Okay, you can also directly type the report name, or you can also directly type the business process name or in the search bar directly, and then you can also get the results out of there. You can search your name if you're already hired into the tenants, and if you try to search your name in the search bar, you get your name out there. Those are not tasks, they are just direct instructions which are giving. But when you open your tenants, when you try to give this kind of task, you can find the sub name out there under the, like, once you give create custom report, once you try to search in the tenant, you get the task out there that you can click the create custom report, and under that you can see a sub name called task or a report or the business process or a profile. It states the nature of the particular search which you have done in the tenant. So on home page, we will have a search bar, we will have a navigation tools, we will have single multiple fields, we will have some standard icons on the home page. We will see what they are. Okay, this is an old page, actually, old page of Workday, but when you open the home page of Workday, you will find something called dashboards or worklets. Now, we will get into a deeper explanation later on what is dashboard and worklets, but just for your understanding. Now, for example, I need some reports related to the employee absence related reports from the tenant. So what do? I create a dashboard. I create a worklet for all the reports which I have already created in the tenant. I create a dashboard for it. Worklet is something we are enabling the report as a worklet. Okay, just don't take the word worklet into your mind right now. So what I do, I'll pick all the reports which I need, which are related to absence, and put it in one icon. Okay, so that with one click, once I open, I get this page. So if you see here, this is one report, this is one report, this is one report. So this is one report and this is one. So the person who has created, who is using the tenant, he might have added these 6 or 7 reports in the dashboard. So once I click, we are running all the reports at once and displaying the output. So that is called the dashboards. That is which we find it on the home page.
Kirtana?
Yes.
I have a question. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
The previous page, like, is it like the individual or like is the group of employees? I mean the.
It is not like that actually. See, when you create a report, it all depends on the requirement of the report, right? In the report, if you put just your name in the filter and if you run, you will just get your details, correct?
Yeah.
If I put that particular report in the dashboard, I obviously get only those details.
Okay.
Now, if I put 10 people in the filter and I just need only those 10 people, then when I add that report into the dashboard, I'll just see only 10 reports. It's just the output of the reports only.
Okay.
But what we are doing, instead of accessing each and every report, going to the search bar, searching for all the 10 reports, what I'm doing for my convenience, I'm creating a custom dashboard where I club all these 10 which are required for me, and I'm putting in one, so that with one click, it just opens. Okay. It is nothing to give and take with the type of output or things like that. Actually, yes, you will find some filters even in the dashboard where you can change and see the outputs. Okay, that is a next level procedure where, see, I'm just trying to explain you what is dashboard. That's it. I don't want to get into the details. We can also add the links in dashboards. Like we can also add some notes. So that's a different case. I don't want to get into all those things. This is just like, we will have two types of dashboards. One is the Workday delivered ones. One is the custom dashboards, which we can create. So Workday delivered ones will have some reports within the dashboard. So custom dashboards, which we can create on our own. Now, for example, I just want to see particular payroll, pay group related reports, and I have already created them in the tenant. There are some 5 reports. Now, if I wanted to access each and everything at once, then I create a custom dashboard, put all those 5 reports in the dashboard and run it at once. That's it. We'll just talk about that, only that much right now. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
And later on, once I start explaining, you will understand.
Okay.
Yeah. So now this is what I tried to tell you earlier. In Workday, we use this name very, very frequently. Okay. I should say everything will play behind us. Task and reports. So these two are like the most of the time we use these two words very, very much in the Workday life. We also see the worklets, as I already told you. And on homepage, for now, for example, like already, see, if your project is related to real estate, you will have certain set of Workday delivered dashboards, and you will be creating certain set of dashboards, right? If my project is related to insurance, then I create certain set of dashboards. For example, like if your project is related to HCM, definitely you will have only HCM related dashboards or worklets on your page. But if my project is related to only finance, we deal with only finance, then my tenant looks different. My homepage looks different. I mean, with the different dashboards. So that's what this particular point is conveying. So it is all the functionality is same, but the way of usage of tenant depends on the project requirement. So it is different for different types of projects. Again, if two people are there, they are working in two different higher education related projects. For example, they might have similar type of reports. They might have a similar requirement, right? Because both are related to the higher education projects, both are related to the higher education itself. So they might have same kind of reports, but the naming conventions and all might vary between the projects. So the story will be same, the functionality will be same if the nature of the projects are same, but the naming conventions depends on the project, the clients basically. Okay. So in one single tenant, the tenant will act the way we create. So as an implementer, if I create my tenant, which includes the HCM part, the finance part, and I have absence, I have benefits, everything in my tenant built. I built all these things, then my tenant will act in that way. It will show, it will display all these standard Workday delivered dashboards on the homepage. But if I create only for one particular module, it will show only one particular module related details on the homepage. So yeah, this is the homepage which you see when you open the tenant. I'm trying to tell you on both the implementer side's view and also the developer side's view. I mean, after completing the implementation of a tenant, how it looks. Okay, just don't get confused. As an implementer, if you open, you will not have all these things. You need to build from scratch. But once the tenant is developed, when it is delivered to another company for a support, then you will be able to see. And also you can now, if there is something called expense, you can also create a custom dashboard here related to expense only, but some other enhanced filters added to it, and you can create your own custom dashboard here. So all these are dashboards basically.
Okay, well, the icons what we see here are worklets, right?
Correct.
And
all these are dashboards. When you open them, the reports acts as a worklets basically. Okay. While creating the report, you can enable the reports as a worklets and then add them. So when you enable them as a worklets, they act as a worklet, and then only you can add those reports into the dashboard. It is like that. Exactly. Okay.
So right now, difference between worklets and dashboard is the icons that appears on the home page is worklets, and dashboards are custom reports that is formed. The summary of what we want. What you
reverse basically. Icons which you see on the home page are dashboards, which you go after clicking the expense, you will find the reports, right, which I have shown you. Those are worklets.
You mean to say that is it like individual folders? I mean, for all the
okay, could you please repeat that for me, Kirtana? I'm sorry.
One second.
Dismissed.
See, can you see this? One second, it's loading. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
See, these are different type of reports: people management, headcount, performance, talent. All these are different type of reports. Okay. Now, how these are added inside? This headcount by country is a report. Okay, it's a custom report. I opened the custom report. I have already created this report, okay, in the tenant. I opened it. I enabled it as a worklet. Now, when I create a dashboard on home page, which you're seeing the expenses and all that, when I create an expense as a dashboard, I open it. And when I try to add some report, it should be enabled as a worklet, and then only it works. And then only you can pick it up in the dashboard. Okay. Now this report behind, I add it as a worklet. And then I come back to the home page. I open my dashboard. I add this report. I give this name as a worklet, and then the dashboard picks up the worklet. Okay. And
A
then,
report is called a worklet in Workday. Is that what it is?
correct.
Got it.
Okay. So once I enable the report as a worklet, I will be able to access in the dashboard. I can select that particular report. See, all the reports will not be enabled as worklets. They like if there are 500 reports in the tenant which I created, you don't enable all the 500, right? You just enable only 15 or 20 reports which are required for us, and then you just add them into the dashboards. Correct? So that's the difference. Now, once I enable it as a worklet, then it appears in the editing part, and then only you can add this particular report in the dashboard and display it in the home page. Okay. See, don't get into the details right now. Just try to have an overview. We are going to have a discussion in deep later on. So right now, just remember that if you need something, if you have some set of if you need some 10 reports to be displayed at once, and that too, if you want them to be on your home page, and with just one click, you want to see complete data, complete statistics, then you create some icons like this. These are also made by us only. Okay, we can select the icons. I just click the time of icon here, and then I see all the time of related reports, all in the sense which are enabled as worklets. Got it? So you can basically add the row, you can create the prompts, you can move up and down the worklets, you can configure it the way you need. This is the layout. If you see the difference, forget about the statement. See the difference between the characteristic of the task here. This is an actionable task which you can do something or create something or edit something. These are just view type of characteristics. So I'm trying to tell you that these type of tasks you can find in Workday. Okay. Here, if you access these things, you can just view the page. You cannot edit or create or copy or something like that. If you try to access this tasks on the Workday page, you can do some changes. Again, I just want to add one point here.
You're welcome.
So yeah, this is a search bar which I'm talking about, where you can type any task. whatever you want to search in Workday. Yeah, you can search here. If you click this icon, it will directly take you to the home page. This is the home page, like wherever you are, wherever you're going by searching here. If you want to come back, just click this one. These are the actionable items. I'll come to that later on. See, I just came into the dashboard called Talent Management, where I can see a single report. Okay. This is what I told that I will tell you later on. You can also add links in the dashboards. You can also add some tasks. You can also add some audit related reports. It's up to you. You can add 6 tabs here. This is one single tab, and each tab you can almost add, I mean, less than or equal to 8 reports in one single tab. So that is the threshold value for the dashboard. See, I'm going back to the home page. Okay.
Can you show us the worklets you are referring to earlier?
The reports which are added to the dashboards are worklets.
So whatever is there on the talent management reports, those are the worklets?
Correct. Exactly.
Okay. Those all are worklets. Okay.
This particular report will be enabled as worklet. I'll show you that.
So what is the advantage of making it as a worklet?
If you want to create a dashboard, you have to create it, enable it as worklet, else it will not display in the dashboard. Okay.
Okay. So we can create a number of dashboards, but whichever we define as a worklet, that only shows.
Exactly. Correct. See? You got it?
Yeah.
This is called the custom report. Okay. I came here, I enabled this one, and then only you can see this particular report to add it to your dashboard. Okay, that is a procedure. Okay, when we talk about how to create a dashboard or how to create worklets, we will go through this procedure, then you will understand it clearly. As of now, just keep in mind that when you have to act a report as a worklet, you have to enable here. If there is, if this is not enabled, this report will not work as a worklet. It will not be enabled in the dashboard. Okay.
Okay.
You cannot pick it up in the dashboard. So I want to go back to the.
So Kitana, like, so which are the reports are enabled? That is called as a worklet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now we will have something called errors and alerts in Workday. Based on like on a timely basis, like if you're doing something wrong, it will show you an error message. If you're missing something, then it throws an error. Sometimes it throws an alert. So basically, if it is an alert, you can ignore it. It will not stop you to go to the next step. You can ignore it and start working wherever you wanted to go and navigate. But if it is an error, you have to resolve the issue, and then only you can go back and start wherever you have stopped. Okay. It is very important to address errors, else you cannot go forward in the work which you're doing. If there is something missing, for example, if you're missing some fields in the custom report, you added the row, but you missed it. You did not give any data out there, it will throw an error. Hey, please see, it's empty. Or you added a row, you gave the field, but the field doesn't match the properties of the report, and then also it will throw an error. You are running a report, you are not giving any prompts, or like if you don't know what is prompts, like if you're trying to run a report and you want to run only for your name, I give my name in the prompt, just a kind of filter. Okay. And that particular filter is a required filter, but I'm not giving anything. I'm trying to run it. It will not run. It will throw an error. Please give some prompt. This is required. It is a required field. So you have to give it and then move to the next step. So that kind of errors you find in Workday tenant in every task. Okay. Whatever task you are doing, if you're missing something, if you're typing something incorrect, it will throw an errors. Okay, you need to fix it, and then only you can move forward. This is what the alert I'm talking about. See, some reports, they may take some long time, or some dashboards may be under, since we add n number of reports in it, it will take long time to run. Or there is some error, there is some problem in the home page, and it might not turn up. All these things will be an alert messages. Just reload it, it will happen, it will run. Okay, it might be a task, it might be a report, it might be a business process, or just a home page, a landing page, anything it might be. You can just read if you want to go and do something. For example, if the report is running for a long time, you can optimize it, or also you can actually run. But ideally in the projects, people ask you, I mean clients ask you to optimize it, because end of the day they need output files in fraction of seconds or 1 or 2 minutes. So if you don't optimize it, and if it is having a larger data, it will take a lot of time for them to get the output file, right? Even if it is for integrations. So they'll ask you to optimize it. So you have to do it on their requirement, but sometimes you can also give some random filters and then run it just for your testing purpose, or even the client doesn't ask you, you can actually run it and ignoring that particular alert. Okay. Now this is a profile icon. Let me complete the PPT first, so that I'll go back to the tenant and I'll explain you, I'll show you where you can locate all these things. From today, I think you can start play around the tenant. Okay. Try to click anything. If you're stuck somewhere, just come back to the landing page, the home page. Okay.
Kirtana?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you mind sharing this PPT?
It is there in LMS.
Okay.
Actually, you can just, Suresh, you can directly go to the LMS. There you can find with the module 1 name. I'll show you that. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All the PPTs for the complete course is uploaded in the LMS.
Okay.
You can also, refer them before you come to the class.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in Workday, we will have multiple type of people If it is a student project, you will have students in your Workday tenant. If it is a company, you will have employees, contingent workers, contractors, suppliers, like different types of people hired in Workday tenant, right? So to access their name, for example, now you got some tenant access, you might be called with some name in the tenant. How it has come? People have hired this particular person, Adams, in the tenant, and that is the reason you're able to see in Workday, correct? How to see his complete profile is to click on his image on the home page. You can directly see his profile, or you can see his inbox. There is something called inbox in the home page. I'll let you know what it does. You can see his complete profile. What profile will have? It will have his complete details, his phone numbers, his address, email address, home address, work address, the compensation details, how much he earns, how much, in which pay group he falls in, what is his SSN number, any government IDs, his personal ID, everything related to this person, what kind of security access given to him. But if I want to see all these details, I need some access, right? So depending on the access, so for example, I have a particular access, HR access. I can see one type of view, but if Suresh has finance related access, he might see the profile in a different type of view. Okay, because he is not supposed to see all the HR related details. So that's the difference. But ideally, people will able to see the person's profile, your own profiles, but the way you see will depend upon the access which you have. Again, when we will learn this access, we will learn when we're talking about the security. So, like as I told you, on the home page, you will find your own picture. If you click it, you will go to the person's profile, correct? Like this. You will find his designation. And then there you will find something called actions. So what is this action? Or you will find like this, 3 dots. Wherever you find 3 dots, we call it as related actions. This particular wording in Workday, we call it as related actions. Nothing but, now if I click this action, I will be able to see whatever I can do, whatever I can view. I can view his security, I can view his auditing page, I can view his time off, compensation, everything. I mean, again, it depends on the access which I have. If I'm a HR, I will be able to see the HR related actions. If you are a finance person, you will be able to see the finance related actions. So if you're having these 3 dots across any task, then it will show a related actions to that particular task. Okay, if you're able to see the 3 dots across a report, then you will be able to see a related actions related to that report once you click this. Okay, just remember these wordings, related action.
Keetana, so when you are saying that each person have a different access and different actions set up for them, is it the part of your implementation of Workday console or tenant set up for the personal user, or what it is called, that kind of setup?
It is basically depends on the security, as I told you. It might be assigned by the implementers, or it might be assigned by the person who is working after the implementation. For example, now when I am an implementer, there might be only 50 employees. I have loaded all the 50 employees and I have given a particular access related to the employees. Okay, but I completed my implementation. I gave this project to you, and now you're working as a developer or a support person of that particular tenant. Now there are 100 people who are hired back into the project. So you have to hire all the 100. So you will be the concerned person, or the security admin who is there in a project will be the concerned person who gives all this access, depending on the job profile. Okay, if you're a HR analyst, you will have a access related to HR analyst. If you're a finance admin, you will have an access related to the finance admin. And that will be decided by the security admin of your
So
particular.
every time, whenever you are talking about tenant setup. For every person can set up their own tenant, right? So how that is differ from this one?
Not everybody, only implementers will be able to set up the tenant. If a local person, if a normal person wants to set up his tenant, there will be only like very few tasks which you can access, and that is a different task. I will explain you that later. But that is different actually. When I'm trying to set up a tenant, I am creating some tenant, right? In the tenant, I'm creating some data. This is access.
Okay.
What I do, it works across tenant. But what we do here, it acts only on Betty, not on everybody. Working across tenant will impact all the tasks in the tenant, or all the works which are happening in the tenant. Okay, but if you're working on particular person, that is related to Workday security.
Okay.
Okay. See, in Workday, whatever you want to access, it might be a particular task, it might be a particular report, a particular, you want to open some invoices, you want to open some person's profile, you want to see something in person's profile. Every click, even the home page, should have some security. You should have some security to view anything in Workday. Everything is related to Workday, and that is the reason I told you, if you learn Workday security, you will be able to learn at least the partial part of complete modules of Workday. Because if I am Workday security person, I give access to HCM person, I give access to finance person also. So if I don't know what's going on in finance and what is HCM, I can't figure out what the person need, correct? So it is Workday security which plays a major role in the view which you are seeing, or the edits which you do in Workday tenant. Creating a tenant is a different task. It is altogether a different thing. All these things, or whatever you are trying to work on the Workday tenant, will happen once the tenant is set up. And that tenant setup will be done by implementers. A set of implementers, they become a group, they become a finance team, they become a HCM team. They will have a security admin also among them. There'll be a report writers. All these people come together, they plan it, they make tenant live. Once the tenant is live, this project will go to the enhancers. They start enhancing the project. Like I created 50 reports. There might be 100 reports or 200 reports down the 10 years down the line. So those will be created by the non-certified consultants. For that matter, even after a few days, the implementer also become a person who creates after the tenant setup also. It is not like the implementer will stay back on the implementation tenant only. Okay.
I have a question. So are we doing the profile settings, or like how the company is doing, or like are we doing the employee profile setting?
I didn't get your question. Are we doing what?
No, you said like the profile settings.
Mm-hmm.
So are we doing it by ourselves, or like how it is?
Okay, there are two types, Suresh. One is if you're having one or two employees, you can directly hire them in the tenant. But if you have n number of employees, you have at least like for 10, for that matter, if there are more than 5, 10, 20, 100, then you use EIB to run the process. You create a template, you will have a default template. You put all the things. Template is just like a Excel sheet, okay? It looks like an Excel sheet. a default Excel sheet which will have some headers. You put all the details in the headers and run it.
Okay.
At once, you can hire hundreds of people in the tenant using EIB. Okay, there are two types, the way you hire the people. But usually, if you do it manually, you will understand in the initial stages. You will understand each and every step. Now, when I try to hire some other person in the tenant, I'm a HR person, right? It will say, okay, give the name, email ID, or date of birth, SSN number. All these are the steps one by one, right? How this works based on the business process. That is the place where the business process come into the picture. Already there will be a featured steps created in the business process. And once you start working, once you start using the task, it will take you through the flow of the way the business process is set up. So if the business process is asking, okay, go ask him the email ID, it will ask me, give the email ID.
Okay.
Okay. If the business process asks, go for the approval to the manager, it will immediately show up in the display that now this particular task is going to the approval to the manager. So it's like that. You change the business process, the procedure will change. So you can actually experience the complete step-by-step process when you do it manually. Okay.
Okay.
Whereas EIB, it will directly override everything. It will run the integration and everything is set in the system.
Okay. Maybe this question is too early to ask. Let's say example, in this particular, we have two modules, that is recruitment, where you hire people and then you onboard them then they become employee, right? So this is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is you don't hire people. Without hiring people, you can just directly onboard them using EIB?
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
It is the process of hiring only, but what happens when you run an integration, it overrides all the action items. Okay, it doesn't go to an approval for the manager and all that. It will directly override all the procedures and it will run complete template, and it will directly show you the person profile in the system. That's the fastest way to load a person in the system.
Okay. Yeah. So it is instant, right? Once you upload the data,
it will take some time, right? Depending upon the data. If there are hundreds of data, it will take 1 or 2 or 3 minutes, sometimes more than that. Depends. If there are thousands of people, it will take some time. If there are only 2 or 3 people there in the template, it will give you the data within few seconds. It all depends upon the load. But definitely easier than doing it manually. If you have to do it, do thousands of people manually, it will take a lot of time, a lot of days, right?
Yeah, and basically this happens during the integration, right? When somebody is moving from SAP to Workday or just procuring Workday initial stages, when they are uploading the data, they use EIB.
Correct. They use EIB.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, so single select fields, multiple select fields, it all talks about the prompt icons. I mean, if it is having a single value, it shows up a single value. Yeah, and if it is having a multiple values, it will show up a multiple value. You can select among them, or you can also remove them. You can actually, we can talk about this in depth later on. It's just like email ID. You will have only single email ID, work email ID, right? That's a single instance. The word instance, again, it will be more used in Workday. But if you talk about addresses, you might have multiple office address or multiple home address, right? You might have multiple phone numbers. So that will be called multi-instance. You will have more than one. Okay, just remember it. It's not necessary right now. We can talk it later on. Yeah, all these are the basic features which we have in Workday. The favorites, like if you add some location as your favorite, it actually pops up in my favorite option. You can directly access them in my favorite icon. It shows in the related actions. Okay. And you can actually go through this PPT once. This symbols are the representation of some, like, few things in Workday. Oh my God, why it is speaking like that?
Kirtan,
You
could you
know
please
this.
go back to single and multiple this thing?
Yeah, we will talk about that later on. Actually, that is,
Okay.
yeah, that, I mean, it is right now, it is irrelevant. I'll let you know what it is. I'll show in the tenant directly. Okay. Who is that actually talking?
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Okay, Gayatri. Yeah. So there is something called action. This is close button. We know it. Filters, indicators. You can see the symbols and you can figure it out. Drop downs. You can figure it out just by seeing. You just go through all this. This is printer, Excel, tax. So just go through all the symbols. You will understand. If you don't understand any symbol in Workday, if this symbol is there in Workday, if you don't understand what is this, just go move the cursor on it. It will show you what it is. It will show you this is a refresh. Okay. So don't take any stress about the symbols right now. All this information is available in LMS. You can just go through once. Okay, now this is called a work feed. Let me go to the tenant. Work feed. Okay, work feed. Bulk approvals. Okay, let me go to the tenant now.
Kirtana, as you log in, just want to know what's the time frame of this page, because I saw that we logged in somewhere half an hour before and now it's logged out. So what's the capacity of this page if you don't work on this page, or what way auto log out timings, right? So what is that time?
Yeah, it all depends on the settings which are there in the tenant. It usually logs out actually.
Yeah.
This is the worst part.
So can you increase the timings of that? Because we work on the multiple things and it just gets
No,
auto logged out if you don't use a page.
no, it is a tenant-wide setup and you cannot do that.
Okay.
Just that you try to, click on the page once in a while.
Yeah.
Now I
Okay.
lost username. I don't think this is the one. This is the extension. I don't think. So what we have seen in the PPT is about the inbox and the notifications. Okay. Work feed, I think it is an old name. I will reconfirm about it, but this is what they are talking about. Okay, let's open the inbox. This inbox is related to you. When you open the tenant on the home page, beside your profile, you will find an inbox and notifications and comments, the Workday assistance, where you can, this is a new feature. Okay. Let's talk about the inbox first. Notifications, just the name itself let you know if you're trying to, if the report is taking for a long time and if you want to download it, and once it is downloaded, it will show you, hey, the report output is ready here. Okay. Or when you're trying to run some task and it is taking for a long time, and once you wanted to download it in the Excel, or you have done some task, some action item, and the procedure is complete, it will show you that notification out here. So that's all about what is notification. But when it comes to inbox, you will have the action items and archive items. Okay. If you have deleted something, or if that is like, if the task is much not needed, then yes, it directly goes to the archive. But action items is what you have to actually focus on. If you are a business process person, or if you are a HR analyst, or if you're a finance admin, like, it depends on your position, the task assigned to you in the tenant, those tasks will appear here. For example, I am hiring a position, like the first one is about edit position restriction, right? For example, if someone from our team has tried to access this task, edit position restrictions. Okay, he wants to hire the finance officer, but there is some restriction out there. It directly triggers my inbox. Why? Because I am business process admin, and it will directly show me that, see, someone is accessing this one and you are the concerned person, please take an action. I can actually go here, reassign the step and assign it to somebody else. Or if the person is a finance person and they want to hire him as an if the person is a HR person, if then they want to hire him as a finance officer, it doesn't work out, right? Directly throw me a notification in the inbox. I can reassign the step. I can go reassign here, click here the reassignment, and then give some other name or some other position to him, do some step here. Okay, that is the reason why we use inbox. I think this profile is completely faded out. See, this is a contact change. Someone out there is changing a contact of new. It'll throw me a notification saying that somebody is doing this one, please take an action. Or see, all these things depends on the steps which are assigned in the business process. Basically, if there is a particular business process for changing a phone number, which is some edit hire or something, or some particular business process is there for this particular task, that particular business process at that particular step, it triggers. Okay, in the business process, it will, how the business process looks, it will give you the step. Okay, changing the phone number. Across that, it will show who is the concerned person to approve or action or to do. All these things are the task or the action items which are there in Workday. Basically, a particular person can take an action on the step or do nothing, or there will be to-do list which the person should do it. I mean, he should fill. Here I am able to take an action, right? If this task is related to do, then it will show me some fields where I have to fill in marital status or something like that. Okay, I have to fill in. Or if the person is getting terminated, I'm a HR person, it triggers me. Some particular person like XYZ is terminated from the system, please enable his effective end date. That is a to-do list. It will come to my inbox because I am the HR person of that particular employee. It comes to in my inbox. Once I select it, here it will show me to do and then give the expiry date of his profile, I give particular date and submit it, it will move out of my inbox. Okay. So that is the functionality of inbox. There is also another function like do nothing, just an access. That is like once you run a report and it is taking a long time, you want a copy of an Excel, you want a copy of an output. Once you select the copy of an output, it downloads for a minute or so. It takes some time since it is a long page. It comes sit here in your inbox. It will show you, hey, your Excel sheet is ready. The output file of particular report is ready. There is nothing to do there. There is no to do. There is no action. You just open, see, access it. Don't access it. Don't open it. It's up to you. Actionable item is, there is nothing to do. Correct? It is not an action item. It is not an approval item. Okay. It is not a to do item. So either you can access it or ignore it. That's up to you. It doesn't make any issue in the tenant. For example, if someone from our team, Gayatri wants to approve, want to apply for a leave, she applies her leave in the tenant in the time off. Okay. And if I am her manager, the approval comes to me and that particular notification sits here, action item. Once I open her, that particular notification, here I can see the approval button, or I can see something like rescind, or that like don't approve it, something like that, rescind or close or something like that. All 3 or 4 options will be shown. If I approve her leave here in this particular notification in the inbox, then she gets, and once I approve the leave, she will get a notification that, Kirtana has approved your leave. It is like that. It will show the procedures to the concerned persons. Why it is showing? Again, it is a deep subject which is related to the business process. But cut story short, the business process will have what to do, who to do, and what kind of action they have to take, whether it is an action, approval, or to do or do nothing. Just see and ignore. Okay, everything is set up in the business process. Okay, if you're doing some task, it can be an actionable item, view item, anything that is set up in business process. It go with the flow. If there is any violation, like for example, now Gayatri has raised a leave and I am on the long leave. It by default comes to me, but I cannot approve it, right? But if the business process is set that if the person is on long leave or if the person is terminated, don't go anywhere. That is what the setup made in the business process. Then her leave notification will not go anywhere. The procedure stops there. So there will be some other admin person who come back, check that, assign a new person for that particular period of time, and then triggers the notification again. Then the notification goes to the concerned person.
Okay. In this particular case, we use reassign steps.
Exactly. That's where the reassigning step comes into picture.
Okay. If it is auto approval setting possible in Workday?
See the action. No. Auto approval kind of stuff is. See, if the step doesn't require anything, automatically it is called as an auto approval. It doesn't need anybody's site view. If the manager is not required for a particular task, it directly auto approves and go to the next step. Okay.
Auto approval in case manager absence. We can't set.
No, the procedure will stop there. Okay.
Okay.
That's where the reassigning task comes. If the person is assigned, or for example, that particular step should be go for an approval to a person who is sitting in Kolkata. Okay. But I'm talking about the location hierarchy. the location. If the managers who sits in Kolkata should approve this particular step and there is nobody out there, it will stop there. It will directly triggers a notification to the business process admin or the setup, or the security groups which are assigned to that particular step. Okay. Someone should go back to it manually using a reassign task. But it doesn't just skip it and go for the next step. That is what the meaning, right? If there is,
Reassign the steps, yes.
yeah,
yes.
if there is some approval required, it should be required. So
Mostly it happens when it comes to leaves, and which are the other cases that could?
there are many actually. You're creating, okay, when I talk about the finance side, you're creating some supplier invoice. It goes for a notification, it goes for an approval out there. The budget approvals, the ledger approvals.
In HCM, in HR,
Yeah.
one is leave scenario. Another scenario is
it can be the absence, it can be a timesheet notifications, it can be the higher notifications, termination notifications.
Okay.
Yeah. See, for every task, we have business process in the system. So
It's how it is set up based on the business process. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. When the business process is triggering, it should go to the notification step. And for each and every task, we have business process.
Keetana, you're going to cover the business process setup, right? So
Yes, I'm not today, but yes, I'm going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Keetana, this is Rohini. So when you said that inbox, the actionable items when it is done, right? So again, when we want to see the actionable items, can we see it, or like we'll not be able to see it?
Sometimes it go and sit in the archive systems, archives. You can go there and see. Sometimes it disappears. It all depends on the setup which is done. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What gets
But once you, once you give an approval from your side, you can't take it back. You got it. Like, because the procedure will move to the next step and it will go and trigger someone else. So you can't take that back. You have to reassign the task again if you want to.
Isn't there something like an undo action button?
I don't think so. As per my knowledge, approvals will not have any undos, but you can reassign. That's where the reassigning task comes into the picture.
Okay.
Yeah. See, because once you approve or go for an action items and submit it, it will trigger the next step. The next step might not be some action item or an approval item. It might be not an auto approval or no one's provision is not required. So it does directly go to the 10th step or the 11th step. Okay. So, or it might complete the procedure also. So you can, if the procedure is complete, you can actually cancel it. Or if it is going to the 10th step or 11th step, actually there the person should cancel it or do what changes in his page. Or you have to reassign, or you have to start the procedure again, canceling the existing ones. So that is the reason these action items will not be for everybody. It will be only for, most of the time, it will be only for the higher hierarchy people. It will not be given for the freshers because, you know, they play it around. So it's like that. Any other questions?
Sure. What gets archived? Like what type of actions get acquired?
See, I personally do not use archive much, but when you see here, if there are some events or most of the time, if you want to cancel something, or if the, okay, for example, I have already approved a person's leave then it shows here that it is, successfully completed this step or that step. Okay. The event, basically, all the events will be shown here in the archive systems. There is no action can be needed to be taken. You can see the procedures here. I will show you. The procedure is nothing but the business process, the left out steps. In this step, there is nothing left out. The step is already completed. If you want to cancel the step, you can, but that's what, it all depends upon the requirement. Okay. If the
Cancel and rescind are the same word, right?
in Workday, you will have both the words, but depending on the task, you will use it in a different way. That you will come to know later on. You will have both the words in the book.
Okay. So rescind and cancel. What is rescind? What is cancel? All this you will cover during the business process.
That's what. Once we open the business process, you will understand that.
Okay.
Business process will have a set of action items in which both cancel and rescind will be the part. And once I cover that, you will get to know. Okay. Okay. Take the things light. It's just an inbox, just like your Gmail. If you want to take an action, reset the password, you reset, right? You'll get some links, or if you want to access some action items, you just do it. It's just like your Gmail account or something like that, where you do the procedures, forward the procedures to the next step, to be precise. Okay, so this is something called the profile, which I was talking about. This is my profile right now, which shows my manager details, the cost center. Okay, what is cost center? What is supervisory organization? Will come later on. Please don't get into these words right now. The organization, you can understand what is supervisory organization. Okay, there will be certain cost center, supervisory organization assigned to a person. Okay, based on that, these combinations, manager will be assigned. So all these are interlinked, which you will understand with your experience. This is an employee ID. You will find the positions. Since I have the complete access, let's see what access is there first. I think I have all the access to view. See, this is related actions, which I'm talking about. This is the security groups assigned to this particular person. Don't get into the details. What is user based? What is role based? We'll talk about that later. But the person is having 1600 plus security groups, and that is the reason he is able to see everything in the system. Okay, so depending on the list of the security groups which is assigned to your profile, you will be able to see or will not be able to see few things in this profile. Okay, like if you don't have anything, absolutely, you just see some elements in summary, some elements in overview, that's it. You will not be able to see everything in the profile like the way I'm able to see. So basically in profile, you will be having, ideally, okay, when you have the complete access, you'll be having the details of the person's profile, the summary of his profile, the overview of his profile, the pay details, the previous job, the current job details, the work history, everything, the leave balance, the compensation. The personal details, the contact, performance, career, time off, everything. You will have everything. Absence, the leave balance, everything you will find on the person's profile, basically. That provided the access to the person. Based on your access, you will be able to see one or two or like everything from the person's profile. This is called related actions, which we saw in the PPT. In related actions, again, you will be able to see that more. You can dig into the profile much more. You will be able to see his benefit details, his expenses, job change, each and everything here. Like even the job change is also, see, change business title is also a task. Collective agreement history is also a task. Resign is also a task. Everything in the profile, everything in Workday is a task. Find payments, everything, all these things. It's not necessary that you have to learn all the tasks. Even I don't know all the tasks. Okay, it all depends on the work which you do. If you are a payroll person, you will just see only payroll related details. You will just be able to access payroll related tasks. If you are a compensation person, then you will be able to see only compensation. If you're a security person, will be able to see everything, but he will be able to change only the security stuff of the person. Likewise, the talent, time and leave. If you want to reset your password, you can go here and reset the password. Oh, not this, wait. Here. There may edit Workday account. Go here, reset your password, your own password, and submit it. So the next time you can actually give your own password. So all, see, the password changes, access, everything will be done by the security admins. If the normal person has an access to the edit Workday account, then yes, of course. See, sometimes even the HR analysts will also have an access for the edit Workday account. How you will know that this particular task will have, this particular task access will be for these particular people? How do you know that? That we will talk later when you're talking about the security. Okay. So everything is the instances. You can actually click on each and every the details in the profile. Today, just go through the profiles. If, like, for example, now I open the summary of my profile, I can see someone here. Click her profile. From there, you will be able to see her manager, her organization, cost center, her skills. Where is she from? Where is she working? What is the position? Everything you can find in the profile. Experience, time, everything, all the details. So just play around today in the system. Just see all the profiles. Just see the inbox. What did you find in inbox? And dashboards is like, don't dig into the dashboards. It's a very big topic. Just have a view. Open the dashboard and try to run it. You will find some really good statistics out there.
Okay.
All right. Have a good night. It's 9:19 p.m. here, so take care.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.